Welcome this morning. Coffee and sports in the morning. Make sure you guys get your coffee and get ready to get some sports talk between Coach Dante and Mo, because we got some variety of topics, NBA playoffs, NFL to go through, man. So shout out to everybody that's going to tune in, and y'all get ready to rise and shine, because we got coffee and sports in the morning. So my brother always here with me, morning show. Mo, how you doing, man?
Hey, good morning, Coach. How's it going?
I'm doing good. And someone decided to show up early last night after getting past the Minnesota Timberwolves. My boy Dez, not late. He feeling good.
What's good?
He feeling well this morning. Dez feeling well.
Early because the Nuggets pulled it out.
Yeah, the Nuggets had to come through for him in the fourth quarter last night. So again, we'll get right up into that. But again, we're going to talk about the first game that we actually saw in the NBA, which was yesterday, which was a 10-point victory by the Memphis Grizzlies over the Lakers in Game 2. Memphis won by 10 points. Memphis came out, played very well, which is we expected, and Mo kind of expected too. Memphis made 11 threes yesterday, shot 30%. The Lakers shot 29% from the three-point line. Both teams got to the free throw line the same amount of times, hit the same percentage. The Memphis Grizzlies out-rebound the Lakers by 2, which was a huge difference because the Lakers was on the boards in Game 1, all over the boards in Game 1. Memphis had 24 assists, moved the ball way more than the Lakers did, moved the ball more than the Lakers did. Lakers had 21 assists. Turnovers, Lakers had 13 turnovers. Memphis only had 10 turnovers. Fast break points, Lakers had 12. Memphis had 10. Points in the paint was even at 50 apiece. And we got Anthony Davis only scoring 13 points, 8 rebounds, 4-14. Wasn't good in Game 2. Jared Vanderbilt was Jared Vanderbilt light. LeBron James, 1 of 8, shot too many threes, 1 of 8, but he had efficient from the field overall. He was efficient from 2-point land. And D'Angelo Russell, don't know what the hell he was doing out there. 2 for 11. Seemed like he's hurting the offense more than he's helping the offense out. Achimura, great game again, 20 points. And you have Malik Beasley with 7 points to round out the Los Angeles Lakers. So the bench really didn't step up as much as you wanted it to. Jaren Jackson, 18 points. Xavier Tillman was huge for the Memphis Grizzlies last night. Dylan Brooks, 5 of 14. And you got Tyus Jones having a Tyus Jones-like game besides making no threes. And Desmond Bain, 17 points, went 6 of 18. So Mo, and you had Luke Kennard with 13. So Mo, give me one thing you saw up out of this game. What you saw up out of this game overall for your Lakers and from Memphis? What did Memphis do better? What adjustments did you see them make in Game 2?
I thought Memphis just came out and played a lot faster, and they were a lot more aggressive. They got a lot of ball movement. Xavier Tillman had like a career playoff game. He was terrific. At times, he looked like the best player on the floor. You don't look at numbers. When you don't look at numbers, you realize how valuable a player Tyus Jones is. Tyus Jones is he's a great backup, but I think he's a starting caliber point guard. He's proven that. Look, he controlled the pace. He made plays. He made shots when he needed to. Memphis was the more physical team too. That was clear from the outset of the game. They jumped on the Lakers, and they had control of the game throughout. I was impressed with their team defense, their rebounding. As a team, they didn't shoot great, but they had so many possessions. They beat the Lakers to a lot of 50-50 balls. They were just a more aggressive team. We all, you, I, Dez, we all picked the Grizzlies to win last night. I picked maybe for different reasons. I just picked them because I just don't trust the Lakers when everything's go too easy for them. I felt like they were going to come out complacent, and Memphis was going to play like a desperate team, and Memphis played like a desperate team. And I thought the Lakers were complacent. I thought when you looked at the way D'Angelo Russell and Anthony Davis approached the game, they seem to be moving at half speed. D'Lo seems to be hurting the team when he's in the game because when he's on, he's a great shooter. He can facilitate, but he's not much of a defender. So if he's not going to give you production on offense, there's no point in even having him on the floor. I thought LeBron played a good game offensively, shot too many threes, like you said. I thought the way the game was shaking out, he would have took over more. He would have been more aggressive. When he realized that AD didn't have it, I thought LeBron was going to – it was one of them nights where he could have went for 40. That said, he got a lot of help again. Rui Hachimura was terrific. Again, 2 games in a row, he was terrific. If you told me he was going to average 24 points a game in this series, I'd have been like, probably not. He's been the Lakers' second best player in this series. Their second most consistent player. Austin Reeves struggled. I thought they just struggled on both ends of the floor. The defense wasn't as tight, but the offense, the key to their offense is they're not a naturally good shooting team. So when they don't get any kind of shooting, they struggle. I thought Memphis did a really good job of attacking and pressuring the three-point shooters. Give Memphis credit. They just outplayed the Lakers, and that's kind of embarrassing. You already don't have Clark. You already don't have Steven Adams. Your best player's out for at least that game. The Lakers are supposed to jump on the Memphis Grizzlies and be going home 2-0. So if you're a Laker fan, like I am, you should be worried.
Especially the way your bench played in game 2. Troy Brown, 11 minutes, no points, gave you nothing out there like he did in game 1. He had Dennis Schroeder, surprised him, played 16 minutes, didn't give you anything going. Malik Beasley had a okay game, I guess, for only 13 minutes. But again, you got to get more contribution from other guys outside of Hachimura and LeBron James in game 3. You got to get some get guys out. You got to get more contribution. It just seemed like, again, far as D'Angelo Russell, seems like he's hurting the team more than he helping the team out. He's up there. He's getting a lot of shots. He's getting a lot of shots in. And then he's been inefficient when he shoots. So like D'Angelo Russell to me is not really an actual point guard. Not an actual point guard. I think he's a combo guard. I think Schroeder is built to play more action pack as a point guard than D'Angelo Russell. So D'Angelo Russell's got to calm down. He tries to do too much at times. So I think like for us that he's hurting the offense more than he is playing. Then he's hurting the Lakers more than he's helping out the Lakers. When he, like you said, when he's on, he's on. He can shoot. He can shoot with lights out when he's on. The problem is he hasn't been on for the last 2 games. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Darvin Ham comes up with. And for Memphis, they already can prove they can win without Ja Morant. They won't win a championship without Ja Morant. That's not going to happen. But they are good enough to at least. If they didn't have Ja Morant for a full season, they good at it, and they have everybody else healthy. They literally can show stability. They could be a playoff team without him. Last year they had a crazy record, I believe, but 37-12 without Ja Morant. So they got some experience without playing with him. And Tyus Jones, he's a starting point guard in caliber. He's a starting point guard in caliber. He just happened to be backing up one of the best exciting young point guards in the game. So that's why his role probably is more efficient. He doesn't have to try to do too much. He's not going to be a flashy player like Ja Morant, but he's going to come in. He's going to play some solid defense. He's going to give you the assists. He's going to run the offense the way you want the offense to be ran. And he's going to take care of the ball too. He's not a turnover prone guy at all. He doesn't have a high rate turnover. He's one of the best point guards in the league in taking care of the ball.
He's kind of like a young Mike Conley.
Yep. That's just what he is. And like 8 assists. He didn't shoot the ball well, but again, 8 assists, six rebounds, did everything else. And when he gets into your paint, that floater is probably one of the elite floaters in the game. So it will be definitely interesting to see what's going to go on in Game 3. Game 3 will be played on Friday in LA, and it'll be interesting to see what if Ja Morant will either play that game or not. But this is an opportunity that the Lakers supposed to see. You don't got their best player. You're supposed to come in and jump on it. I think the Lakers thought the Memphis Grizzlies was going to lay down. I think they thought it was going to lay down because they didn't have Ja Morant. But then again, if you didn't look at the history of the Memphis Grizzlies, they played great without Ja Morant. They played better. They probably will win a championship with him if they ever get to that point. But they play great. They play great basketball. They do play great basketball without him. So,
Coach, we spoke about this too. We said Memphis was embarrassed by their effort the last few minutes of of Game 1. They were embarrassed, so you knew they were going to come out and play a lot harder because they were embarrassed by their effort. So I'm not surprised by how hard they played because of how Game 1 ended.
We expected them to come out and play a little better basketball game, and that's exactly what they did. And that nasty block by Conchar Anthony Davis, that was a hell of a block right there. And that showed you what type of night Anthony Davis kind of really had. But let's hope he can get something going, in the next game. But we gonna go to the ass whooping of the century. That's in the second game. Milwaukee put it on the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat did win Game 1, but again, Milwaukee, tough place to play. They come out and made sure this game wasn't no contest, and it wasn't. No, the score, they lost by 16, but the score was way bigger than what it was. The score was actually blowout. They were down by 30 at halftime, pretty much. But hey, Milwaukee came out and jumped up on them as well. They shot 53% from the field. Can you guess how many threes they made? If you want to guess how many threes that Milwaukee made, if you want to guess that.
I'm going to say 20.
Yep, you're at that mark, but they made 25. They made 25 threes last night. 51, they shot it efficient, 51% from the three. Miami didn't shoot bad. It's just the 9 more threes that Milwaukee shot. They out rebounded Miami as well by 4 points. 35 assists for Milwaukee. Everybody was getting a touch of the ball. Miami wasn't that bad. In assists. Miami had 17 turnovers. That's not good when you look at that. Points in the paint. Milwaukee still controlled the points in the paint. So Milwaukee done everything right at this game. In this game, Bobby Portis with 13. Chris Middleton with 16. Lopez knew he had to have a better game. We straight said it. I said Brook Lopez would be an X factor. Guess what? He got me 25 points yesterday. He got me 25 points in this game. Drew Holiday had a better, efficient game, 24. Grayson Allen with 16 points. And Pat Connaughton and Joe Ingles. Pat Connaughton with 22. Joe Ingles with 17. And Duncan Robinson played minutes. Just like I said yesterday, played minutes, 14 points. 4 from 6 from 3 was really, really good. Jimmy Butler, 25 points, was really good. Bam Adebayo was 18. Gabe Vincent was 16. You had Cody Martin with 15, and Victor Oladipo coming off the bench for 15 points. So everything I said that could have went right, that about each and Duncan Robinson, Lopez, Victor Oladipo, it came true. But 17 turnovers hurt, and the 25 threes Milwaukee pretty much got them the game. What you think about that game yesterday, Mo?
And when you're down by 30 at half, maybe your numbers are a little inflated in the second half because it's garbage time.
Yep.
Because Milwaukee didn't relinquish that lead in the third quarter, you were down 30 going into the fourth. So whatever Miami did in the fourth quarter, it kind of made it look better in the box score. So I would just say that their numbers are a little inflated. They got blown out. Milwaukee did what they had to do. Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez, you pointed that out. They both had to play better. They had to get another guy that was going to score, and they got that from Pat Connaughton with a big game. Actually, if you look across the board, they had balanced scoring. I think they had 7 guys in double digits.
7 guys in double figures,
So the ball was spread, and they shot well, and they were just in attack mode all night. In a lot of ways, you look at Milwaukee, they're similar to Memphis to a degree. Of course, they can't win a title without Giannis, But when
Yep.
you've got proven veterans like Drew Holiday, Middleton, and Lopez, they
Yep.
can win without him. They showed up. That was big. If he is going to come back and play in this series, that game right there, that'll be the game where they say, well, that saved our season because we needed that one. We couldn't go back to Miami down 0-2.
Yep.
So even though Milwaukee had a big game, I expect, and I know you expect, Miami they'll respond back in Miami. This could be. I thought it would be a shorter series. This might end up being a 7-game series itself.
Yep. If Giannis not ready to play on that back after that back issue, because a back issue is nothing to play with, probably will be an even series. Now that Giannis was out, I think it will still be trouble even with them in the lineup, but I still think Milwaukee can make it a shorter series. They can make it a shorter series, but as of right now, if Giannis is not going to play, I think it turns in, like you said, to an even series. I think it turns into at least a 7-game series in the series.
And I would give the edge to the Heat.
Yep. And I will give the edge to the Miami Heat, who's been there. They've done it before. Milwaukee, of course, they've been there. They've done it before. But I mean, again, Jimmy Butler, you don't want to have to it'll be dangerous to go to a game 7 with this guy up in the helm. So again, Miami was dominated to start to finish, and they couldn't recover. They never recovered after the slow start, and it just turned into an absolute rout last night. So other than that, they will be playing game. They will be playing game 3. They will be playing game 3 on Saturday. They will be playing game 3 on Saturday. They will be the doubleheader on ESPN. They will kick out the doubleheader on ESPN along the Lakers with the nightcap. So that series will begin. Will stay going on Saturday. So
that's a big gap.
Yeah, that's a big gap.
That'll give Giannis plenty of time to if he can't play by then, he's not going to play at all.
Yep, and also I think John Morant gets a little bit of a rest because he don't play till Saturday, so he got time to get that hand cleared up too as well. So get treatment up on that one. So go to the last and final game of the night. Up on this one, 122 to 113. Denver had a lot of trouble in that third quarter. Timberwolves put up a 40 piece in the third quarter, 40 to 23 in the third quarter. Mike Malone told he doesn't play. He told the announcement person we played 0 defense in that third quarter, which is they definitely did. They didn't play with great defense at all, which means Minnesota Anthony Edwards showed up to play basketball, kept the Minnesota Timberwolves in the game pretty much. Karl-Anthony Towns continues to be a no-show, and that's why I'm going to call him Mr. No-Show, because he doesn't show up when the time matters the most, and this is a second straight goddamn game. You have to look at him, and say, when the hell are you going to show up to the front office or show up to class or show up to work? When are you going to show up? And it results in the team losing the game, and Rudy Gobert had a great game, had a solid game, 19 points.
I give him credit. He played well.
Huh? Yeah, he played well.
He played well.
Rudy Gobert played well. Kyle Anderson as usual. But other than that, outside of that, you didn't use many players. He didn't use many players. Only 3 guys coming off the bench, so they're not really deep on the bench. For us, the Denver Nuggets, I mean, Jamal Murray had this all-world game. Nikola Jokic, Jeff Green, Grandpa Jeff Green, 11 points in this game. Aaron Gordon had an Aaron Gordon game. Michael Porter Jr. hit some big time, big boy jump shots late in that game. And at the end of the day, 10 threes for the Denver Nuggets. The actual Timberwolves made 14. They made way more. Denver out rebounded by 1. They got 26 assists, most of them coming from Nikola Jokic. Both teams kept their turnovers down, but at the end of the day, when it came down, I thought the Timberwolves spent too much energy in that third quarter. They got tired by the fourth quarter. Anthony Edwards was actually tired. His hands was on his knees every time he makes a free throw. They spent way too much energy coming back from 20 points down in that third quarter. And Denver kind of straightened it up because, again, they didn't play any defense in that third quarter. And Minnesota also played a lot of drop coverage. They also played a lot of drop coverage in that game, they got killed by Jamal Murray doing that, and Michael Porter Jr. and Karl-Anthony Towns just became all of a sudden a jump shooter and not posting up and not using his size and this frame. But again, Karl Anthony Towns continues to hurt the damn team. And the team continues to fall short. The only thing was good, and most of the thing that was good for Minnesota is Anthony Edwards showed up. And when he's hitting that 3-pointer, he's unstoppable. He made 5 threes. That's what opened up the lane. So when you're making shots like that, he opens up the lane more for him to drop, because now you got to play up on him. Now you got to play up on him when he's hitting that jump shot. You don't want to give it to him. That's going to give you an opportunity for him to drive by you and on a fast break. He was going crazy. So Mo, what you think about this game?
I really was impressed with the way Denver came out, but I'll give Minnesota credit. What they did in that third quarter, they showed me a little bit of heart. What they did in that third quarter, but when you have a 40-point third quarter and you're still down, the energy that you have to expel just to get back into that, it's at some point you're going to hit a wall. I will say this though, from late third quarter into the fourth, the shot making by Jamal Murray and Anthony Edwards was incredible. I mean, that was this. It reminded me of when Murray and Donovan Mitchell went back and forth in the bubble. I mean, they were making some tough shots. These weren't, deep step backs, contested step backs, breaking guys down off the dribble. Like Jamal Murray, to me, he looked really good throughout the season, but that game, that looked like the Jamal Murray that was on the verge of being an all-star / superstar himself. Like, he was special last night. If he doesn't play that way, they don't win that game. And I'll say going forward, he didn't have to score 40 points a night, but if he's going to play at this level, if he's going to meet Jokic and play at this level, that's when I believe that Denver's a legitimate number 1 seed. Because now you have 2 legit stars to go around with those very capable role players. If Murray's going to play like that, then Denver's going to be a tough out.
Yeah, definitely. Denver's going to be a tough out.
One more thing, Coach. You called Towns, was it Mr. No Show? You and Des call him. I call him No Trust. All I know is it all adds up and it's no good.
Yep, you call him. It all doesn't matter. You call him any one of that.
It's no good.
Yep.
To have that kind of talent, that kind of ability, and do that. Now, part of that is the coaching staff isn't doing him a favor by putting him on the floor with Gobert. That doesn't work. When you put them on the floor together, you're making him essentially a jump shooter. To get the best out of him, Cat's got to play center. He is a center. He might be able to step away and shoot jump shots, but he's a center. And him and Gobert, let's all agree, that doesn't work.
It doesn't work because, like I said again, you got another 6'11" dude, having a 7-footer standing on the perimeter, and while another 7'2" guy is taking up the paint and making it hard for guys to drive. So again, the only one that can kind of drive that consistently is Anthony Edwards, because again, he was hitting the 3 last night. So that was making it tough for Denver to guard him, last night.
He's a scary talent.
He's a scary talent, man. If he can ever get that consistent jump shot down pat, dude could be very much unstoppable. And it will force teams to not to play in the paint on him, pretty much, not the game plan for him. It will all of a sudden be nowhere to game plan for him. But for the Minnesota Timberwolves to have an even shot of winning a game or 2 in Minnesota, Karl Anthony Towns got to be that guy. Again, they traded for Rudy Gobert. There's no turning back now. He's got to have to find a way to be that guy. And he's got to have to find a way to get in the post, whether if it's a turnaround, Jay, or whether if he's got to bully somebody to get in the paint, he's got to be able to do that. And Minnesota, not that deep. They're not that deep. They lost one of their rising stars, Jaden McDaniel, because of his own doing with a hand injury. He decided to smash his hand on the last game of the NBA season. They lost him, so they're not deep on the bench at all. So Karl Anthony Towns is going to find Mr. No Show is going to have to find a way to come step up for this team if this team want to try to win a game in this series. But right now, I don't think they will win a damn game in this series the way they play. And if they do keep a game close, they will find a way down the stretch to lose probably the ball game, because Denver is probably better. They're way better than Minnesota at this point right now. So
they're also missing Naz Reid. Naz Reid
is
he's a really good backup. Yeah, he's really good.
A really good backup. Yes, he's a really good. I forgot so fast that they did lose him that they did lose him. He's another big piece of that team that they lost. So again, the next topic: can the Milwaukee Bucks continue to win without Giannis? If his back's still an issue.
We just discussed this. I think,
Yeah.
Coach, we agree. Without Giannis, they can make this a series. But if you're asking me, can they beat the Heat without? No. We both think, and I think Des agrees. With Giannis, it was going to be a problem because the Heat know how to play them. They match up well with them. So without him, I think what you have, you made a great point. It's an even series. But if everything's even and there's no Giannis and you got Jimmy Butler, I'm riding with Jimmy Butler. I'm going to say that if it goes 6 or 7, you don't want that guy coming at you to close you out. Like he's going to be a problem. Like as well as Milwaukee played in game 2, and I think they'll play well again, they won't shoot that well again. Like they shot the lights out last night. I seriously doubt Miami's going to allow that in game 3. I think Miami's going to be a lot more aggressive on the ball. I would trap Drew Holiday, get the ball out of his hands. I think Drew had 24 points and 12 assists last night. So if you can cut the head off the snake and make somebody else make a play, because if you look at how that team is constructed, there's only really 3 guys that can create off the dribble. Giannis, and he's out. Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton, and Middleton's not at 100%. Everybody else is dependent on what they can do off the dribble. So if you can control Drew Holiday, you can control Milwaukee.
You definitely agree with you. I think they got all the makings right now to make it a 7-game series. So I still think they can win without them. But can they win a series without them? That's kind of questionable at this moment right now. But do you got Jimmy Butler on the other side? You do got Jimmy Butler on the side, and also you got Bam who can come out and go show up at any one of these ball games when he decides to. And you got a great defensive team pretty much in Miami. They normally don't give up 138 points that much. They will figure out going to Miami. They will figure out the adjustments that need to be made. And again, if Milwaukee want to win this series, I think they're going to really need Giannis. They're going to really need, this is the time they're probably going to have to need Giannis. But then again, you don't want to rush the man out there if his back is not feeling good. Because the back issue, that's nothing to play with. You don't want that man go out there and take another hard fall and then he's be out for the series and then comes back to kind of hurt him if they do advance, it's going to hurt him in the next series. It's going to very much hurt him in the next series. So we'll see what happens in game 3 on that scenario. So again, we're going to go to talk about Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks from yesterday. Can he continue to be a thorn in LeBron James' side at the mode? Do you think he continue to be a thorn in LeBron James' side? Not just LeBron. I don't want to just say LeBron James' side, a thorn in his side, because nobody can't guard LeBron James. Nobody in this league can not guard LeBron James. So I want to turn it to the Lakers side. I'm just going to turn it to the team side because I don't believe Dillon Brooks will stop LeBron one-on-one. I just not believe in that without a team. I just don't believe in that. So I'm going to go to the Lakers side. I'm going to switch it and say to the team side. Can Dillon Brooks be a thorn in the Lakers side?
Sure. If they engage with him, he's basically doing his best version of Draymond Green. So he's looking to get them to engage with him. He's being a little physical, a little chippy. He's talking, he's chirping. You could tell last night they responded to him. I think at one point the whole bench was talking to him. LeBron and him kept going back and forth. No, he didn't stop LeBron, but I think that if you're an irritant, it can throw you a little bit off your game sometimes. And I think that's what he's trying to do. He knows what he's doing. And I'll say this, if it's working, keep doing it. It's on the Lakers. They can either engage with him or ignore him and just focus on the game at hand. I thought Anthony Davis got caught up in that kind of stuff, even Austin Reeves. When you can get multiple guys to respond to you, you're winning. You're winning. You're winning the mental war. So Dillon Brooks is winning that mental. He's not winning the stat line, but he's winning the mental war.
Yep. I definitely 1,000% agree with you on that. If you can get the person to talk right back to you, you're winning it. You're winning it. If you can get the person out, anytime you have anytime you can talk a person and you can talk them out their game, you're winning, and you're throwing them off mentally to the point where they can't focus on their game when they can't focus on their game. So right now, they'll allow him to shoot. He's not making most of them, but again.
He made a timely 3, though.
He made a timely 3. He made a timely 3.
Well, but he made a timely 3.
Yes, he did. He made a timely 3 yesterday. but then he's going to always compete on the defensive side of the ball, no matter what. If he makes a three or not, he's going to compete on the defensive side of the ball, and I like that about Dylan Brooks.
I think he's entertaining. I mean, I'm a Laker fan, but I think he's in guys like him. I think characters are needed in the NBA or in all sports for that matter. But he's entertaining, and once you get past that, he's actually a good player. He's a solid basketball player. So I think he's a free agent coming up this offseason. It's going to be interesting to see what the Grizzlies do, because I think he's a valuable piece to what they do. Like, you've got Morant, you've got Bane, you've got Jackson, but you kind of need that guy that does all the other things that they don't do. He has a similar value. I'm not saying he's on Draymond's level, but he has a similar value like Draymond Green does for that franchise.
Yep, definitely 1000% agree up on that, man. And like I say, you want to play like that on your down team. You want to play like that on your down team that can get into a person's head anytime he can. And again, man, like I say, Dylan Brooks, like I say, he shows signs of being a solid shooter, a very good shooter as well. But again, like I say, when he can play defense and get into somebody's head and talk trash, talk a little smack to him when you're doing something good, then I can live with that. But like I say, the guy just want to win. I'm pretty sure he's a solid person in heart, but the guy just want to win. I mean, when you're playing on the court with people, you don't got no friends on the court. Off the court, you do. But again, you're trying to do whatever it takes to win. And
you want that guy on your team.
Yeah, you want that guy. That's the type of guy you want on your team, like a Patrick Beverly type. You want that guy on your team. You'll hate playing against him. Of course, he's going to be an asshole when you're playing against him.
Right.
But when you're playing with him, hey, that's the man that's going to fight. That's the man that's going to fight for you. That's the man that's going to go out there and give it all he got. Russell Westbrook, hey, he's going to go out there and give it all you got, no matter how much you say about him. Those are the guys that you can win a title with. And not as a first option, but a third option, someone that's going to fall on the floor and do the dirty work. Those are the guys that you want on your team that's going to win a title for you. That's going to win a title for you. So
maybe they should do it. You know, they did a clutch player of the year, the first clutch player of the year award. Congratulations, De'Aaron Fox. Well deserving. But maybe they should do like a role player of the year award, because when you've got guys like Dylan Brooks, guys like Pat Bev, Josh Hart, like PJ Tucker, like the guys that do that stuff that doesn't always show up in the box score, but their teammates know what they do. Maybe those guys should get some kind of love or flowers thrown their way with some kind of award.
Yep. And everywhere Patrick Beverly goes to, he impacts. Every team he goes to, he impacts. I mean, he went to Minnesota and they ended up in a 6th seed. They ended up in a playoff seed. They ended up in a they won a play-in tournament. And the Clippers just let him go. They let him go after he helped the Clippers out. They let him go. He ends up beating the Clippers in the play-in tournament.
I remember that.
Into the playoffs, and he started talking smack. LA let him go. He ends up beating LA and talking trash to LA and helping them getting into a play-in tournament. So you can't tell me anywhere Pat Bev go, he's not an impact in the locker room or on the team. He's a very much impact on the squad wherever he goes, man. So I kind of like
there's a role for him on any contending team. Maybe he doesn't play the biggest minutes, but when he's in the game, he can impact the game, because I don't know if he's an all NBA defender anymore, but he's still a really good defender. And just his effort and his head game, the way he can get into your head, that has value.
Yep. You ain't lying about that part. So we go to the next one. What the hell, Mo? What the hell is wrong with Mr. No-Show? What the hell is wrong with Mr. No-Show? What the hell is going on with Mr. No-Show?
I've been following Towns even from when he was at Kentucky. And he has all the tools. He has a nice post game. He's got a nice jump hook in the paint. He's got a nice running jump hook. He shoots well for anybody, not for a big, but for a 2-guard. He's that kind of shooter. And yet, in terms of showing up when his team needs him most, more times than not, he's a no-show. He has all-star talent. I don't want to say superstar, but he's legit all-star talent. But I think the problem with him is not everybody's cut out to be a franchise player or a number one option. I look at Towns and I go, he should be a really good sidekick to Anthony Edwards, but even as a sidekick, he's not reliable. You really don't know what you're going to get from him game to game. Like the other day we talked about, now watch Towns turn around and drop 30 or 40. Like, you don't see it coming. You won't see it coming. Like, he had, I think, 10 or 12 last night. And maybe in the next game, game 3, he'll go for 40, and then the following game he'll go for single digits. He's just he's one of those players that, as a coach, I can imagine if you're coaching him, it has to drive you crazy because you know how talented he is. And he says all the right things about wanting to win, but his actions, and remember, Towns is still a young guy. He's a veteran, but he's still a young guy. I would say this: he doesn't have the highest basketball IQ. Like he makes those kind of mistakes where you're like, dude, you're a vet. You should know better. Like when you put your shoulder down and you just try to plow through people with your reputation, it's going to be an offensive foul. Like he just makes plays that are unnecessary, especially at this stage in his career. That if you're looking forward and you're a Timberwolves fan and you're in the Timberwolves front office, you're stuck with Rudy Gobert. You know that already. That he's not going anywhere. Anthony Edwards is your future. To get better, to go to an actual another level, you've got to move Towns. Towns is still a valuable piece, and other teams would be interested in him. You've got to move Towns. I don't care if you get picks or a couple of young pieces that can help you in the future, but you're going to have to move Towns to actually like make your team deeper and spread the floor more. You don't need Towns and Gobert on the. It just doesn't work. Now, if you have Anthony Edwards, Gobert, and a bunch of shooters or guys that can create for themselves, that can work because Gobert can play the role of roller and the floor can stay spaced. But right now, their skill sets, Towns and Gobert, they go against each other. Gobert he's almost like an anchor because when he's on the floor, you said it, Anthony Edwards is the only one who can still drive to the basket with him crowding the paint. When he's on the floor, their spacing is horrendous. So I just think going forward, this is a franchise that's got to make a lot of big decisions, and I think it starts with what they do with Towns.
I'm like I say, I will be a believer of Mr. No Show only at this point. If you didn't make the trade for Rudy Gobert, I think it could somehow work because just by him being a floor spacer and you just add shooters around, if you just add shooters around him, I think it can work like that. That's only if you didn't get a Rudy Gobert. Because Rudy Gobert, Rudy Gobert doesn't come out the problem. He doesn't like to come out the paint. He doesn't move from the paint. He stays stuck in the paint. And now when you're trying to go pick and roll with Rudy Gobert, Karl Anthony Towns is also turning into a jump shooter because he's out there in the corner. But when Karl Anthony Towns decides to post up or drive to the basket, Rudy Gobert is right out. So if you imagine if you could just take away Rudy Gobert and then trade for him, I think it might work like that because again, when Karl Anthony Towns on the block posting up, hey, if you decide to double, somebody's going to have to knock down a shot, or if you don't double, he's going to kill him all day long. And I just feel like when the playoffs when the playoffs is here, Rudy Gobert becomes kind of like deer in the headlight because the floor is so spaced out. You don't want to come out there on the perimeter. You don't want to have to come out there to have to guard Nikola Jokic, someone that can shoot. You want to just stay in the paint and just bake on them to miss. No, it doesn't go like that in the playoffs. And it comes time and time again. When he played the Rockets twice, he tried. We know what you're trying to do. You want to stay in the paint. You can only be effective if you on the defense side if you're in the paint. If you play someone like a Clint Capella or someone like that, then that's when he can play in the paint. But when Clint Capella is a part of the game, you have to go to PJ Tucker or someone that can shoot those corner threes. He becomes disaffected. He even hurts more on the offensive side because again, you just got to rely on him on pick and rolls. He's not a post player. He's not a guy that's gonna get the ball and post you up. So he becomes really every play has to be made for Rudy Gobert on the offensive side of the ball. But you can game plan for him on defense if you don't have someone like a Clint Capella or someone. If you can have a stretch 4 up in the game, that could kill Rudy Gobert because guess what? You can't play out of the paint. You got to play out of the paint, and that opens up a lot of driving lanes for the guards to go inside. And teams just know how to game plan for Rudy Gobert in the playoffs. That's just all.
They can play him with smaller players. Like you would think because he's bigger, he's got a guard on him, punish him, but he doesn't have a post game. His value on defense, it kind of deflates you in the postseason because you put him in space. Most teams involve him in every pick and roll. They involve him in every pick and roll. He's got to play drop coverage because he can't play in space, and he gets eaten alive. And then on offense, he doesn't make the other team pay for going small. because he's not really a skilled post player. He's a rim runner at best.
That's all he really is, and that hurts him doing in these playoff stretch. It ain't gonna hurt him too much during the regular season, but in a playoff stretch when it matters, it's gonna hurt. It really hurts the team. It really hurts the team. The way this NBA turned into these days, you're seeing more stretch fours, guys that can shoot. That's how you can last longer in the league. And Karl Anthony Towns, I believe if it wasn't Rudy Gobert, they didn't trade for Rudy Gobert. Karl Anthony Towns probably could work because, again, he can stretch it out. It will allow him to post up more. And you just put the shooters like Anthony Edwards, and that would give more space into Anthony Edwards to drive in the free round in the paint and give more guys like Mike Conley to use a lot of pick and roll with Karl Anthony Towns, because they're going to be doing it with him. It's easier to do a pick and pop or a pick and roll. And defenses don't know how to adjust. They don't know what's going to happen on that. They don't know if he's going to pick and pop, pick and roll to the basket.
Because Towns scored all three levels.
Yeah, you can score at all three levels. Now with Rudy Gobert, everything changed. Everything just changes. He's going to roll to the basket. He's not popping out to no three. The only thing he's going to roll to the basket. And Denver was able to defend that a couple of times last night. Like Jamal Murray, I seen him take the ball out of the air in the game too because of that pick and roll. And they were trying to throw a lob, but Jamal Murray was able to get in and take the alley-oop away from him. So again, Cat is he's hurting himself by shooting a lot of jump shots, but also it's not helping him because Rudy Gobert is out there on the floor taking up all the space in the paint. So it's also not helping him either.
And Coach, you're going to hear these terms throughout the playoffs, right? You're going to hear pick and pop, pick and roll, and more than anything, you're going to hear drop coverage.
Yep.
You're going to have drop. And when teams play drop coverage against the wrong, like we just talked about Gobert, same for the Clippers. When Big Z's on the floor, you try to go drop coverage, or you switch everything and you put a big man on an island with Chris Paul, it's over. It's over.
Yep. And that what happened last night. Jamal Murray ate him alive. Ate him alive last night with that drop coverage. Michael Porter Jr. with that 6'10" just ate him alive last night. And they made him pay. So at the end of the day, we'll see what happens at game 3, which is I don't think Minnesota have much of a chance in this series. But other than that, we're going to go to another team that doesn't have much of a chance in this series either. Brooklyn don't have much of a chance in this series either. I don't think they have much of a chance in this series either. I think they can possibility one game maybe they can do. It depends on how they come out and play tonight. Possibility in Brooklyn. But can the Sixers go up 3-0, which is I very can see that happening. What you think, Mo?
If the ball is moving the way it did, if you let Tobias Harris be part of your offense, they're going to go up 3-0. Tobias Harris is a capable scorer. He's putting up 20 the first couple of games. When you let him be part of your offense and be more than just a spot-up shooter, that impacts the game. And that also takes pressure off Embiid. Embiid's going to get doubled again. And if he gets doubled, you've got Tobias Harris on the backside. I think an aggressive Tobias Harris along with an aggressive Tyrese Maxey, yes, they'll go up 3-0. I expect the Nets to come out and there'll be an early flurry, but the Sixers are the better team. They're the better team, and in the end, they've got the most dominant player in the series. Like, if you don't double him, he's going to go up 40, 45 points. So if I'm Brooklyn, I'm going to double him because I'm going to say Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, other people beat me, but not the guy that's going to win MVP. He's not going to beat me.
Yep, got you on that one. And if I'm the Brooklyn Nets, I'm playing the same thing I played in game 3. I'm doubling Joel Embiid, and I'm getting back in my coverage on the 3-point shooting. Or you can even have a guy hedging the double Joel Embiid, so you can get back easier. But if I'm gonna come out like I did in game 3, I'm doubling Joel Embiid. I'm still doing the same thing, but the only difference, you got to get back fast on those 3-point shooters, because 3-point shooting has really been killing the Brooklyn Nets on the defensive side of the ball. Now, in game 2, it didn't hurt them too much. The only thing about it, Maxey was hot that night. I like what they came out and did, but Brooklyn couldn't score. They need scoring. Cam Johnson got cold in the second half. Didn't expect them to stay hot the whole game, but Dinwiddie, he got to come out and play, man. I don't like the way he's playing for the Brooklyn Nets, man. He's not scoring at a high rate. He's not scoring at a high rate. I know that's a guy that can break down the defense, that can be a better playmaker, that he's actually showing. I needed him to show up one game. Mikal Bridges, you're gonna get what you get out of Mikal Bridges. You're gonna get 20 points out of Mikal Bridges regardless. Cam Johnson is gonna go out there, he's gonna do his thing, but I need Nick Claxton not to score. I need Nick Claxton not to score, not to try to score 0 points. I need him to put up some point, at least some points in this type of ball game. I need Royce O'Neal to be a 3-and-D guy, be the 3-and-D guy and make a bucket. If Brooklyn can actually come out here and make shots, they can actually win the game. The Sixers they played well in game 1. They didn't play well in game 2. They didn't play well at all. They struggled in game 2. Only thing about it, Brooklyn couldn't score a basket. They couldn't score a basket in the second half. They couldn't make any
shooters.
And they got shooters.
You got Joe Harris. You got Seth Curry. Like they've got to make shots. I think Bridges, Cam Johnson, especially Dinwiddie, they have to be more aggressive off the dribble so they can create for others.
Yep. Desmond said his mic is not working. Man, we doing great. How you doing, Des? Know you happy? Know you had some good sleep last night. You ought to be glad Freddie ain't up here. You ought to be glad Freddie ain't here. So you got a little bit of a break, pretty much. But yeah, man, like I said, I think if the Brooklyn Nets can show up and, like I say, they got shooters. Like you said, they got shooters. Joe Harris, you got Seth Curry. They can come off the bench and shoot the basketball. They don't have guys that can shoot. But again, Spencer Dinwiddie, he's got to be the point guard of this team, and he's got to play like he's the point guard of the team. He's been non-existent this whole series. So do I think the Sixers can go up 3-0? Yes. As bad as they played in game 2, played in game 2, then yeah, they can find a way to win this game. They can find a way to win this game on tonight. They can find a way to win, especially at Brooklyn. And you know your home gym, you can find a way to win. Because, like I say, Sixers didn't play well at all. Tyrese Maxey was the only one really was hot that night. Tobias Harris had a great game as well. James Harden, I allow him to shoot them step back down jump shots all day long.
Right, especially if they're contested.
Especially if they contest it, I'll allow him to do that. You just don't want him to go by you and get to the free throw line. You just don't want him to see him get to the free throw line. I keep doubling Joel Embiid, but you got to get something on the offensive side of the ball for a full game. You gotta get something going on the offensive side of the basketball. So other than that, we switch to the next topic. How can the Warriors do it without Draymond Green being suspended tonight? How you think they can do it, Mo?
I think they're going to have to play smaller at times. I think you're going to have to replace Looney at times with Kuminga. Kuminga's a dynamic athlete, explosive leaper, somebody who can finish at the back. He's capable of dropping 20. Not as good on defense. Looney doesn't wow you on defense, but he's a solid defender. He doesn't elevate and block a lot of shots, but he's a position defender. So you're going to give up something with Looney out of the lineup. Also, don't forget, Jordan Poole hasn't played well yet. Like, we talking about Clay and Steph, but Jordan Poole hasn't really brought much to the table either. They need a big game from Poole. They need another solid. Wiggins has been actually solid offensively. The only thing he's done wrong is he hasn't shot the 3-ball well. Remember, Sacramento's up 2-0. They haven't blown Golden State out. These games are competitive games, so it's not that Golden State can't make an adjustment. I'm actually expecting Golden State to win Game 3. I think they'll win Game 3. I think you're going to see a better version of Clay and Steph. I think you're going to see Kuminga more, Moody more. They're going to get some young legs out there because those Sacramento young legs, they can wear on you when you have to try to stay in front of De'Aaron Fox. When you got to stay in front of Malik Monk, it can wear you down. So I expect Golden State to go 8-9 deep in the game. Sacramento really comes out. I think Sacramento's going to just do what they've been doing. They're going to move the ball around, try to get everybody involved, and when it's clutch time, they're going to put the ball in the hands of De'Aaron Fox. Yep. What Golden State needs to do, they got to get a lead. They need a cushion. What they don't need this to do be a one-possession game late in the game because that favors De'Aaron Fox and the Kings.
Yep, they do. They do again. And you got to try to limit Malik Monk. If you cannot keep letting them going off and do whatever you want to do in the series. But if I'm the Kings, I'm gonna keep doing what I gotta do. I'm gonna keep doing what I do. I'm gonna keep playing that 90 feet, wearing out Steph Curry. You don't got a playmaker. Draymond, they lost their best playmaker on the team, and continue to make Kevon Looney, if they're gonna keep playing him, continue to make him turn him into a decision maker. Continue doing that like you did in game two. Keep pressuring the ball, keep using your right technique. And that's why I like Mike Brown, because he knows every aspect of that offense that the Warriors does, because he's been a part of it. He won championships on that level by knowing that offense. So I like the way he games plan for the offense. He knows the offense. He know what the Warriors do. They always move without the basketball. The ball is never staggering around. Players moving, bodies moving, and you actually got the personnel that can defend it. And just keep putting Davion Mitchell out there. Keep letting them try to put Steph Curry to work. Because when you guarding a person 90 feet like that, then you have to run back and forward. And you got guys switching, communicate with each other. Sacramento is doing that right now. And they're winning the track meet too. They showed you they can outscore you as well. But again, you got to get someone out there that can make a play. And that's what Jordan Poole supposed to be out there doing. Right. He's supposed to be out there making plays, not turning the ball over, not shooting at a bad rate. You got paid this year, and you need to be living up to that contract. Andrew Wiggins has been playing very, very good basketball. Not far as shooting, but he's been effective on the offensive side of the ball and on the defensive side of the ball, and being a part of the rebounding edge. But again, you're gonna need that guy that can go out there and make plays and read the defense and make the right decisions. Golden State don't have it at this point right now, but I think Golden State can figure out how to win this game. I think you don't want to come on, and you don't want to get embarrassed, and you don't want to be down 0-3 without Draymond Green in the lineup. If it's 0-3 by the end of this day, the series is done. I think the series is by far over with. I don't think Golden State will win 4 games in a row at all. I seen him come back from 3-1 though. I think that's better of a possibility than being down 3-0. I don't see them winning 4 straight games, especially you still got to play 3 games in Sacramento. Even if you do extend the series. I don't see them winning the game in Sacramento. I don't see them actually winning the game in Sacramento as well. Even if they do go back to Sacramento down 3-1, I don't see them winning in Sacramento. I think Sabonis will end up being too much. De'Aaron Fox will end up being too much. You're not going to stop Malik. You showed you can't stop Malik Monk. And again, I think Golden State is going to come out. We're going to talk about that game more and give our predictions. But I'm on the same parts with you. I'm going for Golden State to win this game.
I think they play smaller.
Yes,
I think they attack. I think they're going to try to involve Sabonis in pick and rolls. I think that's how they wear him down. They make him play defense more in space. They attack him. I don't think Looney's going to play on the floor as much because, like you said, Mike Brown knows when you have 4 scorers and a non-scorer, they're going to find ways to blitz the guys that can score. They're going to make the right pass, which is to get the ball to the open man. That'll be Looney. Looney is not a playmaker and he's not a scorer. I don't think he'll play as many minutes. I think they're going to put guys on the floor that can finish, that can score. I think Golden State's going to win another track meet. It'll be another track meet, but I think Golden State wins.
Yep. So, like I say again, I think Golden State, they're going to realize they need this win, desperation win. They're going to know we need this win. We need to try to figure out the way to get this win. And I figure out they were going to do it. But I think the game going to be close. I think the game going to be real close when they win. But if they allow the game go down to the last possession, it may not be too good. De'Aaron Fox going to find a way to steal it. They're going to find a way to steal this game in Golden State and Golden One Arena. They're going to find a state to win this game. So again, we'll come back to the game for full predictions. But other than that, how can Wemby help Detroit out? If Detroit, I think they have the worst record in the league, so they're on par to get the number 1 overall pick. How can Wemby help Detroit out? How do you think Wemby can help Detroit
out? He's the kind of guy, if he lives up to the hype. So let's start there, right? I've seen a lot of his games. I've seen highlights of his. He has a complete bag and a skill set to go with a 7.5 frame, and he can handle the ball. My only question with him is, though, how will he fare when that that thin body bumps up against men bodies. When men bodies get into him.
Yep.
And what position will he play? Because he's already rail thin. So is he going to play the 5 or is he going to play the 4? So I don't think he really wants to play 5. I think he can help. I don't doubt his talent.
Yep.
I would just question everybody that thinks that he's just going to drop into the NBA and start scoring 28 points and 15 rebounds a night. I don't see that. Not when you're going up against men who know how to be physical, who know how to attack you and get into your body. I think he's going to have a terrific rookie season, but I don't think it's going to be a dominant rookie season. He can help Detroit because of with his skill, with his talent, that can rub off. That can make life easier for everybody else on that. That can make life easier for Ivy. That can make life easier for what's the guy that got injured? The guard.
You talking
Cunningham.
About Cade Cunningham.
Look, it gives Cade Cunningham the perfect big that you can play pick and roll or pick and screen or pick and pop, because he has the ability to not just roll to the basket. He can step out and shoot a 3. He can actually handle the ball. On that team, with his versatility, you might be able to do a big on big pick and roll because of his ball handling ability. So I think he's going to make any team he goes to better. But what team needs him more than Detroit? You know what I mean? Like, Detroit really needs him. Now, I know your Rockets wouldn't mind having him, but Detroit really needs him.
Yep. I think for a person that size, that big, he's going to be playing the 5. I think he's going to be playing the 5. 7'4", and then when hell you can put him at the 4 position. You got no choice but to put him at 5. I know he's too thin, he's too small, but his height make up everything. His height can make up some of that weight, some of that dead weight that people got up on him. His athleticism is definitely gonna help him out. He just needs to eat a couple of hamburgers or something like that to bump it up a little bit more. And I think most likely is going to be the 5, and people will have trouble with him at that 5 position too, because he's going to be able to shoot and he's going to be able to ball handle like a guard. He's going to be able to ball handle kind of like a guard to go inside. So it's some strengths that he's going to be able to use coming into the NBA that's going to really help him out. But the only thing about it, just same thing like Chet Holmgren. His size and his length is going to help him affect a lot of shots in the paint as well. Even when a guy are bigger than you, that's what having those long arms and that size is going to come into play right there. So again, he's going to be athletic enough. The only thing you're going to be concerned about him, can he stay healthy at this next level? You got already Chet Holmgren getting hurt on his size.
That's a great point.
Can you stay healthy at this next level? That's the only problem. Can you take the bumps and the bruises that these bigger guys are going to get upon you? Can you take the bumps in the chest? Would you better take the charges of not being able to get hurt? Well, really, you 7'4", you shouldn't even take a damn charge. You should try to block a shot every single time.
Everything should be verticality.
Yeah, everything should be verticality because you're 7'4". Because you're 7'4", you're over 7 foot. So you shouldn't even worry about taking no charge at that point. But will he be able to sustain punishment if it comes down to it and take those bumps in the chest without getting hurt of anything? I think that's what only really come down to is his durability.
And the I guess the drain mentally and physically of playing an 82-game season. Like, this is a totally different thing for him. So I don't question talent or ability, but sometimes talent by default doesn't mean you end up being this big superstar. He may be that, because we see the talent, we see the bag, we see what he can do with his handle, his jump shot. His skill set is impressive, but nobody's more excited to see him. I don't care where he lands. I'm just excited to see him compete with NBA competition.
Yep. So Desmond said Victor will have a bright future in Detroit, I think, or in San Antonio. San Antonio is a good spot for him to go to because of Coach Popovich.
I'd rather him go to San Antonio.
I'd rather go to San Antonio too. They develop really, really well too. They develop talent. And R.C. Buford, they develop talent really, really well. They know how to use that talent.
And they already have some nice young pieces there.
Yep. So I think San Antonio probably will be almost a perfect fit for them because they know how to develop talent. They come up out of there. So again, we got to the NFL portion of the side. Tua is facing retirement after last year. He's maybe consider retirement. But do you think he will have a better season this year, or would you expect? Do you expect him? Do you think he should retire? But if he plays, do you think he would have a better season than what he had last year?
Look, if he's healthy and the doctors give him a clean bill of health and he wants to play, he has the desire to play, then he should play.
Yep.
Look, Tua's only problem is his body is not as durable as most.
Yep.
He's taken a lot of big shots in a short
Yep.
amount of time in a short career. He's going to have I think he'll have a bigger season than last season if the Dolphins do a better job with that offensive line. Like, you already know what they have on the outside and the skill set. If they protect Tua, he's going to throw for I'll say 4,200, 4,500 yards, maybe 30, 35 touchdowns. Like, he's going to have the impressive thing about Tua, for a guy his size, he actually can throw the deep ball as well as guys much bigger than him. Tua's got a quiet little rocket on that arm. People sleep on him. He's not a dink and dunk guy. He throws the ball down the field. He pushes the ball down the field. If they can protect him, if he can avoid the big shot. And look, sometimes he's his own worst enemy. I've heard people say, sometimes, you know what? Just go down. Take the sack. Just go down. Don't try to, you know what? Sometimes you just got to take a sack. I think that was something that, what's the guy back in the day? That was something that Troy Aikman had a hard time doing. Troy Aikman wanted to stand in there to the last minute and throw the ball, and he started getting annihilated. He started having concussion after concussion. It's what ended his career. I hope, not just as a fan of the NFL, but I hope for Tua's sake, his career doesn't end because of concussion after concussion. You don't want that. That game where he went down and he was staggering, that was scary to look at. That was scary. Hopefully he can stay upright, because if he does, he's going to have a Pro Bowl season and the Dolphins are going to be in the playoffs. But if he decides to retire, good for him. You're thinking about the rest of your life, and that's more important than anything.
Yep. I definitely agree upon that part right there. But like I said, I thought, like before, when he played that game in Cincinnati, I thought he was having a great season at that point of time. Remember, the team was undefeated going into that game. He was having a solid game until he got hurt. Teddy Bridgewater had to come in, and they end up losing that game. But after that second concussion, he was no more the same. He had a bad game against the Green Bay Packers. I think that's the game he kind of went out in. But other than that, if he can stay healthy, I think he can be pretty well. I think he can be pretty good. But As of this point, if he gets another concussion, you might have to really, really retire at that point of time. You might have to really, really but he should be able to retire at that point in time, because you can tell, Luke Kuechly ended his career on a lot of concussion issues. You have players that really ended their careers on concussion issues, on keep getting concussions, and he may be one of them that's going to have to stay healthy and have to avoid a concussion. Or maybe if he's getting a concussion, maybe have to look at that offensive line a little bit more.
Right.
You have to look at that offensive line a little more because they're not protecting him enough. If he's going to keep getting hit the way he's getting hit, and he's going to continue to have these concussions. But at the same time, he's going to have better awareness of where the pressure is coming from, or where the pressure will come from as well. So not trying to put it all on the offensive line, it can be on him too, but not feeling the pressure, not knowing where the pressure is going to come from. But sometimes it can be on the offensive line for them, not protecting them better. So we'll see what's going to happen at this.
Look, I think Tua's best friend is a good running game.
Yep.
Good running game will be his best friend.
Yep. You may have to rely on the run more. You just never know. So Calvin Ridley will how Calvin Ridley will fit with the Jacksonville Jaguars. How you think Calvin Ridley will be fitting with the Jacksonville Jaguars? Those of y'all that don't know how Calvin Ridley actually was when he was in the NFL. He was a 1,000-yard receiver every single year, pretty much in Atlanta, pretty much. Even when Julio Jones left, he still was finding a way to be productive. He got suspended on gambling, so he's wasted a year up out of the league, but now he's with the Jaguars. Mo, how do you feel like he's going to fit with Jacksonville?
I think he's going to have a big season. They've already got some nice young talent on the outside. They've got a talented young running back. I like Jacksonville's skill positions, and I really think that Calvin Ridley. It wouldn't shock me if he puts up. He's going to have about a 1,200-yard season. Like Calvin Ridley, you said it, Coach. He was on the verge of becoming a star. He's that
Yep.
talented. He's that talented. So you put him with Trevor Lawrence, who's improving, gaining more confidence, learning how to recognize coverages more, along with the other talent they have on the outside. Like I think Calvin Ridley is actually going to open up their offense more. Like he has number one receiver talent. So I think he's in line to have a really big season.
Yep. I think in some degree he can help out the Jacksonville Jaguars, but again, let's see what he can do with a full season with this team and what he's doing in the off season. He should be able to do enough to be in game shape now that he's going to have a full OTAs, he's going to have a full training camp. He should be able to have a great off season. He should be able to be in game shape by the time they come on the field, by the time they be ready to play. So other than that, we go into the predictions for tonight and the games for tonight for the games, this slate of games tonight. So other than that, we got a Thursday day game at 6:30. We got the Philadelphia 76ers game 3 going up against the Brooklyn Nets. Mo, what do the Brooklyn Nets need to do better to win game 3? And who you got in this game 3?
I think the Nets have to play faster. You've got you want to hurt Philly, you want to wear them down, you want to wear Embiid down, you have to run him. You got to run. Yep. If you watched game 2 and what they did in the first half, they ran. Philly doesn't want to run. They're not a running team, and they're not that young a team. You run Philly. If you're the Nets, speed the game up, be aggressive, get shots up, but make the game fast. Don't let Philly. I thought Philly controlled the pace of the game in the second half. Like you said, they didn't play great. Maxey shot the lights out, but Philly controlled the pace of the game. And I thought the Nets did. They made a mistake. They went away from doubling Embiid. Look, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. I would double that man over and over and over. If he ends up with 12 assists and he beats me with 12 assists, then we get beat by him getting 12 assists. But I'm not letting him play one-on-one. I'm not letting him get comfortable. That strategy they got to keep throughout the game. But you also need a better version of Spencer Dinwiddie. I think you're going to get a nice game from Cam Johnson. I think Bridges is going to play well. But if Dinwiddie doesn't step up, that's going to hurt them. They need Dinwiddie to not just be a point guard, but to be also somebody to get some buckets.
Yep. And who would you take in this game for game 3?
I'm still going to take the Sixers.
Okay. All right. So everything you just said hit the nail right on the head. For the Brooklyn Nets, right now they got a 20% chance of winning this game tonight. So they're ESPN them not giving them an opportunity to win this goddamn game tonight. But other than that, man, like I say, man, if Spencer Dinwiddie, I got a good feeling about Spencer Dinwiddie. I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna take the Brooklyn Nets to win game 3.
Okay, Coach, that's what's up.
I'm gonna gamble. I'm gonna put the gambling chips on the table and I'm gonna say Brooklyn win game 3, and I'm going to say this is the only game they're going to win. They're going to win in the series. I would say this is the only game they may win in the series. So Spencer Dinwiddie needs to step up, and I feel like he's going to have a solid game tonight. He's going to do
well. Is he your X factor?
I think he's going to be one of my X factors. I expecting him to show up. I think he's going to be my main X factor in this game. I expecting him to show up in this game. I expect them to come out and double Joel Embiid. Every single time when he touches the ball, I should see somebody running over there, and I should see some instant recovery of getting back on those 3-point shooters. Like, I don't mind PJ Tucker shooting. If he's going to shoot the lights out, then I'm okay with that. Maxey, you got to guard him. You got to guard Tobias Harris. I don't mind James Harden shooting step backs as long as a hand in his face. But PJ Tucker, you got to find a way. You got to find – if he shoots me out in the corner, I'll live with that. But most of the time, he's not going to shoot – He's not going to shoot your lights out. I'm going to just say that the Sixers are not that deep on the bench. They're not really that deep on the bench. Jalen McDaniels, they got coming out. George Niang, Paul Reed, they don't play that many guys on the bench anyway. But like I said, again, I believe Mikal Bridges is going to drop 20 points tonight. Cam Johnson should have a solid game, but Spencer Dinwiddie is my X factor for tonight for the Brooklyn Nets to win this ball game. So I'm gonna actually put my gambling chips on the table and go Brooklyn.
You are gambling when they only got 20% chance. That's a gamble, coach.
I mean, but I'm trying to boost up with the ESPN thing. Say I only gave him 20%, so hey, that goes probably the other 20% for me. So again, we moving on, and we're gonna go to the Golden State Warriors. The Kings versus the Golden State Warriors. They gave the Kings 60% chance out of 39 to win this game. So they got the Kings. They are heavily on the Kings right now.
Wow.
So Mo, what do you want to see from the Warriors in game number 3? We just went over it, and who you have winning this game tonight?
So I want to see better ball movement, better body movement. I expect Golden State to win. I guess I'm going to be like you in this game, going against the 60%. I think Golden State is going to win. This is real simple. They lose tonight, the series is over. This isn't one of those kind of things. They lose tonight and then they catch back up and get involved and go back to Sacramento 3-1. It's over. I expect Golden State to come out guns blazing. And I also say this because, Steve Kerr is really good at he did that Phil Jackson thing where he kind of says things about the way the game's being officiated and how Golden State's being touched off the ball. I would look to see how many times Golden State gets to the free throw line tonight. I'm gonna say the Warriors shoot 28 free throws tonight.
Okay. I like that. I like that. So I'm gonna take the Warriors as well. I'm gonna take the Warriors with you as well. I think the Warriors, if they won, they realize how big this series is gonna be. They realize how big. They realize they're down in the hole. They realize they've been down 2 games before. Especially with their backs on the line. They know the stipulation. If they lose this game, they know their asses is going home sooner or later. Exactly. It can be in game 4 or in game 5, but I know it's gonna be in one of those games that they may go down in. They're not gonna win 4 games in a row, especially when you got to play 2 more others in Sacramento. You got to play 2 more others in Sacramento when you know you got to extend the series. So I don't expect them to win 4, but I do expect them to win this game tonight. I believe Jordan Poole is going to have to be the X factor tonight. He's going to have to be that guy that can come off the bench and create and score some points tonight for the Golden State Warriors. So right now, Spencer Dinwiddie and Jordan Poole is right now my X factors for both of these games as of right now. So I'm with you. I got Golden State winning this game. So we go to the very next game, which is the last game of the night. We got game 3. Phoenix traveling to LA to play the Clippers. Mo, what do you want to see more out of both teams? What do you want to see out of both teams? And who would you take? And who are you taking tonight?
Well, if I'm the Suns, I hope the Clippers keep playing drop coverage. We're just going to keep attacking it. And if you double Kevin Durant, I'm not sure that's a great strategy, doubling Kevin. He's actually a very good passer. And when you double him, he's kicking the ball to Devin Booker, or he's kicking the ball to Chris Paul, or right now, he's kicking the ball to the guy that I call the new Ray Allen, Torrey Craig. Torrey Craig suddenly is the best 3-point shooter in the NBA. If Torrey Craig is going to keep making threes at the rate he's making them, there's no way they're going to stay in drop coverage unless they're just volunteering to lose the series. I think you play Durant straight up and let the chips fall where they may. Look, he's a terrific player and damn near unguardable. But you play him straight up and you guard everybody. You don't automatically leave a man open. You have to play straight up. And on offense, if I'm the Clippers, you got to move the ball more. You can't put everything on Kawhi. So you need a more aggressive, a more efficient Norman Powell. I actually think it'd be interesting to see if Ty Lue pops the top off and puts Robert Covington into the rotation. Yep. Covington's a very good 3-and-D guy. Right now, Nicholas Batum couldn't hit water if he fell out of boat. So give Covington some run, see if he can hit some threes. I think you need more from Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann is their Swiss Army knife. They need to get a couple of other guys. They don't have to score 20. Give me 14, give you 15. Take some pressure off Kawhi. They need more balanced scoring. Again, on defense, play man up, and if they're gonna play drop coverage, you can't play Zubac. You got to play Plumlee. Plumlee's a lot quicker. He's more agile. He's got better lateral quickness. Play Plumlee, or even go smaller and play Covington I've seen Covington play the 4 and the 5. Play Covington because again, DeAndre Ayton is not a big Adonis. He's not some overpowering center. He's a finesse player in his own right. You can get away with playing small if you play straight up. Then you can switch everything. But if you put Chris Paul on an island with a big, you're inviting yourself to lose.
Definitely. So who you got winning this game tonight? Who you pulling for this game tonight?
Well, I've got Phoenix winning the series, but I'm going to say the Clippers win tonight.
Yep. So I'm going to say the Clippers win tonight at home too. Like I say, it's just hard for me. I know I can trust the starting five pretty much for Phoenix, but it's hard for me to trust their depth and what's coming off the bench. It's hard for that. That's what maybe kind of get off Phoenix a little bit. Their starting five is going to have to do every single thing for them. And I think Tyronn Lue's going to have to switch up some rotations a little bit, man. He's going to have to start playing players that can actually stretch the floor. I mean, Nick Batum can't make a jump shot out there, so you're going to have to put someone in that can can shoot a jump shot. Robert Covington, Marcus Morris, you're going to have to put someone out there that can make a jump shot because Nick Batum, yes, he's a great defender. And I respect him for being a great defender, but for his shot making, he has not been able to do that. So you got to put someone in that can definitely do that. And DeAndre Ayton doesn't play big. He doesn't play big at all. So you can go small if you want to and stretch the floor. You can go small if you want to. You can do that if you want to by putting a Robert Covington out there and a Marcus Morris. But you got more bench depth when you got way more bench depth than the Clippers. So I think in my opinion, if you want to match up really well against Phoenix, Zubac may have to limit minutes a little bit so he can match up even more. And if you want to play drop coverage, you're going to have to switch everying. Then you go with the small lineup. You might have to go with the small lineup.
Right. And remember, they have all those wings, coaches. We point that out. The Clippers have 5 or 6 wings. Take advantage of that. That way, when you do switch everything, Chris Paul's being guarded by a long, rangy wing, somebody that can stay in front of him and not a big that he can put on skates. Zubac, to me, is going to have to play spot minutes tonight. You're going to have to use him in spot minutes to see what lineup that the Suns put out there. And if you're the Suns, what I would worry about is what happens if Torrey Craig goes back to shooting like normal Torrey Craig? Like he's averaging about 20 points a game, but what if he goes back to being the normal single digits Torrey Craig and you're getting what you normally get from that bench? You're going to be in trouble.
Definitely. So we both got the Clippers tonight. I got the Clippers. I got Brooklyn tonight. That's another 20% Brooklyn you should have. Don't let me down tonight, Brooklyn. But at the end of the day, let's see. We're going to see what's going to happen tonight. So other than that, it was a great morning show this morning. Great show. Always a great morning show. Hanging up here with you, talking ball with you.
Dez, get that mic fixed, man.
Dez, you got to get that mic fixed, sir. You got to get that mic fixed, man. Because Freddie may be returning anytime soon, so I want you to be ready. Be ready for that. So, man. Other than that, Mo, tell the people they can follow you, man.
Sports Empire Network, and also check out the podcast NBA Cypher.
Gotcha. Y'all can find me at Sports Empire Network. Need no introduction on that one. Y'all can find me pretty much everywhere. So, as for Coach Dante, as for my guy Mo, we'll see you guys in another live stream soon. Have a good rest of your morning, you guys.
Hey, peace.